Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited to be making this video today. I don't know why I've never thought, what's that in the corner? This. No, it is. Yeah, I don't know why I've never thought to do this video before. And then someone suggested it. I can't remember, I think it was on TikTok. Someone suggested it and I was like, that's actually such a good idea, because I feel like before surgery this would have been so, like, I would have been obsessed with this, watching these videos to try and like weigh up my options. I do just want to say everyone's different. Like, I've tried to be generic, but some of them are probably pros and cons that I've found, and other people are probably very different in their journey, because no person is the same, and might have the same condition, but everyone's journey is different. Like, even the fusion that I had was not a normal fusion. Like, they had to break my spine first, mould my spine bits that they broke, and then put it back together before even fusing it. So obviously it wasn't even a normal fusion, so my answers might be different to some people's, but this is just my take on it. And yeah, I'm excited to do this video. Obviously my last video I posted like going to London to get my I think it was 2.5 year post-op results, and I didn't end up getting them, and I was like, I'm fuming. Well, I've got them, and I'm going to be making a video on that pretty soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. And if you do have any other video suggestions, then put them in the comments, because I'll be more than happy to make them. So let's just get straight into it, I guess. I thought I'd start with the pros, because start on a positive, and to be honest, they were actually hard to think of, like even the pros, because there's only like 2 pros that really stick out to me that make it all worth it. And then the cons, there was only like maybe 2 cons that I could really think of as well. But then I obviously got my juices flowing, and I was like, no, actually this and this as well. But yeah, let's just get into it. The first pro I would say about getting the spinal fusion surgery is that there's so much research. Like, because I've also had the tethering surgery, the VBT one in America as well, and there's not as much research on that, so you don't really know what your long-term results are going to be. Whereas with fusion, like it's been the go-to like treater, what am I trying to say, like go-to treatment for scoliosis for a long time. So you know what you're getting into. They know the long-term, like the risks of having it long-term, and they know that most of the time, touch wood, it's fine as you go older. And yeah, you know what you're getting into. There's loads of people to talk to, because so many people have had it, the community about it. So yeah, I think that's a big one, that the amount of research that's done on it, like, you know what you're getting into, and you know that it's like good and it works most of the time. Another pro is my lung function. Oh my goodness, I didn't realise how much I just couldn't breathe when I had like a 90-degree curve cushion my lung. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't realise how much I couldn't breathe until I just could. And I was like, oh. I don't know if everyone else has the issue of not being able to breathe when they have scoliosis, but I just couldn't. Like, my lung function got worse and worse and worse as my curve got worse and worse. I don't know if that is actually a thing for most people, but for me, it definitely was. The main one for me about spinal fusion, and why I am just like so happy that I got it, and why it was probably the best thing that I ever done, and it might sound a bit not materialistic, what's the word I'm trying to think of, like egotistical, I can't think of the word, but the fact that I've got a normal body, and people might be like, that's the main reason you're happy you got the surgery, because of the cosmetic outcome. But like, I think unless you've like had an abnormal body, I don't think you understand like the gift it is to have just to feel normal. I grew 5 inches after this surgery. So like I lay down and I was 4'11", and then when I stood up I was 5'4", because my spine was just like that, and they just straightened it. So it doesn't make sense. But like, I've gone from being like this, having a really short body, my arms hanging down below my knees, getting called names for it, like Mike Wazowski, Slenderman. It's so rude. I can laugh now. I didn't mind when like low-waisted jeans are fine, because my body was so short I could wear low-waisted jeans, and then they went out of fashion and I could only ever find high-waisted jeans. But the high-waisted, like my waist now is here, okay. When I used to have my old body, take off 5 inches of my body, my torso, my high-waisted jeans sat here, like right below my boob, really. So that if I wore a crop top, it would go below, like, the high-waisted jeans, or like there'd be a tiny gap, and I just looked like Mike Wazowski, as people would say. So yeah, it is a big thing, and every outfit you try on, you just hate. Well, I hated the way I looked. Remember, like, getting ready for parties, or sometimes I just have a meltdown, trying on like 50 million different outfits. My room would just be a bombshell of clothes everywhere, and then I'd end up being like, I'm not going, or going on like a summer holiday, or like needing to wear a bikini. Oh, dreaded it. I never felt comfortable. It was always about what clothes can I wear to make myself feel comfortable. I would be in dance class with like hoodies and layers and layers and layers on, not wanting to wear a leotard in front of everyone because I was so embarrassed. I just felt different. I would wear jackets in the summer. Like, I just couldn't like fully be myself. And I love clothes. Like, I love clothes, and I think that's why I spend so much money on clothes and trying to make like feel good in outfits now, because I can. Like, I can, and I never ever used to be able to. So it's a massive thing. So that is one of the biggest pros that I think I found from the fusion, is like having that normal body. And that's a pro for me, because I know I could have gone in, and I don't know if this is for everyone, but my surgery, he said I could go in to your spine and he could start like trying to straighten it, and the spinal cord alert could go off, and he'd just have to fuse it in that position that I was. So I could have came out fused like that forever, and like the possibility of that happening was high, I think. I don't think anyone expected it to go as well as it did, so that's why even more I'm just like, wow. Or he could have straightened it maybe a little bit, and then the spinal cord went off. He would have had to fuse it there, but he just kept straightening it little bit by little bit, like really slow, and the spinal cord alert just never went off. So he was able to just straighten it pretty much. That's why I grew so much. Like, I think it's because I didn't know that I was going to end up with this completely normal body as well going into it. So that was a big risk, to get my spine took apart and put back together, and then potentially just have the same body that I went in with. So I think that's also just why I'm so like, because the outcome was so amazing and no one really expected it to go that well. So that's why I'm so grateful that I just have a normal body. I still look in the mirror and I'm like it's been 2.5 years, and I put high-waisted jeans and a crop top on, and I'm like, I have a torso. And I went on summer holiday with the girls in my bikini, and I'm just like, there's nothing better than loving yourself. And I could never, as much as people saying just look like you're an amazing person, you're beautiful, like, it's hard when you can't tell yourself that, like, no matter how much the people tell you that. So I feel like I'm really going on about this, but it's just insane to me. I lay down with this really short torso and just stood up with this body that I could never have dreamed of. It is like such an abnormal experience to go through. I'm standing up like I'm so tall. So yeah, massive pro is that you have the normal body, like, and you just feel like everyone else. You don't have the rib hump, everything's just straight and happy, which is really, really a gift when you've had scoliosis, I think. Another pro is, personally, I don't get any pain anymore. I didn't really get that much pain before it though, because I know everyone's like, oh, I get really bad pain. I just never got that much pain. I don't know if it was because I danced, so my spine was quite flexible. That's what some doctors said. The only pain I used to get was like bad lower back pain if I'd been standing up for too long, but not like unbearable. And I'd still dance every day, every night of the week, all day Saturday, and I probably would by the end of that Saturday be a bit achy, my lower back, but nothing I couldn't deal with. I don't really get that anymore. I think I get a little bit of hip pain if I'm sitting in certain chairs for like too long, but I don't get that lower back pain. Well, I don't know, I can't remember if I do, because I know I was writing that down, I was thinking, do I though? But the fact that I don't know if I do and I can't remember if I do means I probably don't get the lower back pain. Oh, I've just thought of another con. I've literally just thought of another con I'm going to have to write down, because that is a big one. I think the last big pro, and this was like the other massive one for me, is closure. Like, even when I was going through like the VBT surgery, you didn't really know like the long-term research on it, so didn't know what was going to happen, and it's that like, oh, you might have to have another surgery. And so even though you're like, yay, this surgery went well, the VBT one, it's like, you never know if you're going to have more surgery, and obviously I did. I met this girl in the hospital at my last checkup in London, and she has had VBT like me, and then she's obviously, it got worse, so she's seeing the surgeon that did my surgery, and she just does not want another surgery, and I completely get that, because I didn't. Like, it's the last thing that you want, especially when you've been through it and you know how hard it is, and you've come out the other side and it's like, again, really. And then she got really good results, and she was made up. She was like, the curve, she's been doing like exercises and stuff, and her curves reduced a little bit, so she was like, yes, it like less likely that she will need the fusion, or like if it carries on just getting better and better and better, then great. But that is amazing for her. Like, she was made up and I'm made up for her. But it's like that, you're gonna have to, if that was me, I would feel like obviously buzzing, but I'm gonna have to do these exercises for potentially the rest of my life to keep that spine straight and straightening it. And in the back of my mind, or in her mind, it might be like, you have a week off the exercises because you're on holiday or something, and it's like, oh, what if it's got worse? Or like, what if it just gets worse and then I will need more surgery? Whereas it's so easy to say for me, because I've come through the other side of it, but when you've done it and it's done, I don't have to do any exercises. I don't have to think about like my spine moving, because it's literally fused together. The only thing I have to think about is not breaking my back because I like do a backflip or something, but I'm obviously not going to do that because I physically couldn't, and I'm petrified of like bending too much. So yeah, like, I don't have to think about, like, scoliosis isn't controlling my mind anymore. I took control of it, and I just don't have to think about it. I'm never like, got like an appointment in the next 6 months, like, oh, what if it's got worse and then I need the surgery. It's never just, it's done. My spine is straight, it is fused, it physically cannot move, and obviously I know things can go wrong still for me, and you never know, there may be more surgery, but it's very unlikely. So yeah, I've just got closure from scoliosis after all these years, and it's just nice not having to think about it. It's done. I feel like that chapter is just done. I hope, although I will give updates in my video of my surgery results, because there is potential for more surgery, but I think it might be, we don't know. But yeah, that closure that I felt after it is huge personally for me. So they were my pros, guys. If I think of any more as I go, I'll put them in the comments, or I'll just say them in the video. And now it's time to move on to the cons. Dun dun dun. Obviously, there are cons that come with it. There's pros and cons of absolutely everything in life. Don't let this scare you. And some of them I don't actually agree with, but I've put them in because I know people I talk to feel like that. So, first one is the limit in flexibility. Big one for me. Some people might not be bothered because it's not that bad. Like, I can do that. I can bend to the sides. Do you know, I can lean back. It's not insane. Like, I'm literally like, yes, like a robot. Like, I can twist, you know. It's more for me because I was a dancer, and like, just being able to just be free. Because even when I do that, like, I can feel metal. I can feel metal rods. Maybe I could do more than I think I can, but the fact that I can feel the metal is like, oh, don't move too much. And it does limit my flexibility. Like, obviously I used to do backflips, walkovers, aerials. I can't do any of that. There's no way I could do a front walkover because I'd go into a handstand. I can do a handstand. I'd literally go into a handstand, and then I would be like this pen. That can't move, can it? Like my back, and I would just go slam on my back, because you have to like proper bend your back to do that. So yeah, that is a real big shame. But I've got to say, if you watch my progress back to dance video that's on my YouTube, I can do so much more than I thought I would. On Google it says like avoid weightlifting, avoid jogging. You don't like, well, for me personally, I don't have to, like, I can run, I've been in the gym. If you watch my dance video, obviously not at the start because I was like 10 weeks post-op, as it goes on you'll see I don't think, if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't know I've had surgery. I know because I can feel it, and if you know me, you know that I can't move like I used to. But if you don't know me and just watching someone dance, you probably like wouldn't know I've had surgery. As much as it, like, I know it has limited my flexibility a lot. That's like the one thing that I'm like, ugh. But I still don't think it outweighs the pro of like having a normal body. Because I can still dance. But yeah, that's definitely, it is a con at the end of the day. Now, another con I don't agree with at all, but loads of people that I speak to are like, oh, like, how do you feel about this? Because I hate it, is having a scar. Doesn't bother me. I think it's because I've literally had a massive rib hump on my front and my back. Like, what's a scar, really? You don't want to go through all that. Like, 2 12-hour surgeries I had. And then have nothing to show for it. Like, people look at you and they're like, she's hardcore. That's what I think anyway. I just think it makes you look so strong and so powerful, and it's like a battle wound that, like, and you survived and you came out the other side. I think they're amazing. And plus mine has faded so much that you can hardly see it, and I was actually really sad when it started to fade. I was like, no. So yeah, that is a con for some people to think about. It depends how you feel, but I would take scar over my old body any day, and I love my scar. I've always said that since the day I got it. I've always loved them. I've never had an issue with scars, but I know people do, so I thought I'd put that in. Another con is like a little bit of discomfort in certain seats. So I said, like, I get a little bit of what's it called, hip pain sometimes. So that, like, I don't really, not often, but it's like aeroplane seats that I notice it so much, because my spine is like this and the chair goes like, going all out for you guys here. I'm not an artist, so just bear with. This is the chair. Okay, this is the chair. This is me. And it like comes out there, the head on an aeroplane. I don't know why they put the head like sticking forward, and like, because my spine's fused, I can't bend. People can just curve that bit onto the seat, so they're like, eh. I can't do that because my spine is fused, so I feel like I'm literally like, and I just wish that I could just like curve this bit of my spine to sit down, like curve it like that onto the seat, but I physically can't. But I've travelled to LA since the surgery. I lay down on the way there because I had, but then on the way back I couldn't, and I was fine. It's just I notice it when I sit down, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, some car seats have like, it's when the head bit's further forward, and I can't like curve that bit of my spine to like relax into it, so I'm just like but it's not everything, but I notice it most on airplanes. Another con is obviously the risk of the surgery. Like, it's petrifying, absolutely petrifying, and you can't even explain it unless you're in that situation. But no, you can't even mentally prepare for what you're about to go through, and mentally prepare for what could happen if it goes wrong. And that's why I just think that we're all so brave. Thankfully, I was like, mine was really high risk. I think more high risk than most people's, because it was so complicated. My spine was a little bit fused together already, but such high reward, and I just took the leap and it paid off. But obviously that is something to factor in, because it is very scary and only you can make that decision. I remember the girl that I met in hospital, and I spoke about it before, but she was like, I just want someone to tell me like what to do. And that was me when I had like 2 options of something, and it was either really risky but really high reward, or like not as risky but not great reward, just like medium reward. And I was like, I just want someone to tell me what to do. And my mum was saying, only you can make that decision. It's exactly what I said to her, and it's so annoying when you're in that situation. You're just like, literally just tell me. Or just like, you want to look into the future and be like, that was the right decision, that's what I need to do. It is very scary, and only you can make that decision. Once you've made that decision, it's so powerful and you're so brave. But I do understand like how scary it is. I've been there 4 times now. I think the last one was the worst. I remember that, like, lying on the bed, and they were like, I'd already signed to say, yeah, you can put me to sleep. So even if I'm screaming no on that bed, they can put you to sleep. And they were putting the oxygen on me, and I was screaming, no, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore, please. That's the last thing I remember. Lovely. But then I woke up, obviously, surgery went amazing. So I'm just like really, really, really lucky. Another big fat con that I just remembered before is like when it's cold, I can't explain it. I don't know if I'm the only one who gets this. Please tell me if anyone else gets this. But in cold weather, or like I got in a swimming pool the other day and it was freezing, and there was no way I was ever warming up because my metal like goes cold inside me, and it just sends coldness through your whole body, and then it aches. I think because you're like holding yourself, like if it's cold outside, in a certain way to warm up, then it all starts to ache. But I can physically feel my metal getting cold, and then it gives my back like an ache. That is a big con. It's really annoying, and I always forget until it's too late, and I'm like, I'm cold now, and this is starting to hurt. It's gonna be cold. But like I went to Oslo last week, 2 weeks ago, and it was like 1 degree, and I was fine because I wrapped up loads. I'm going to Budapest next week, and it's going to be the same, like freezing. So like it doesn't stop you, but just something to think about. That's pretty much everything. Yeah, please let me know other videos that you want me to make, because I'm happy to make some that you actually want to see. I will be doing my results update because it was quite an interesting update. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe and give this video a like if you thought it was helpful, and let me know any other pros and cons that you can think of. Thanks guys, see you soon.